Good evening. Thank you for still keeping us company right here on Sunday Express. And tonight, being on the 23rd of October, it is the Spina Bifida month, and we're here to raise awareness and also try and get support for those who are living with Spina Bifida. And taking us through this conversation this evening is, to my immediate left, is a nurse trained and working with Bethany Kids, and that is Jane Mutinda. Thank you very much for your time, Jane. And on the far end, we have Madam Esther Hamisi, who is a mother to a child with Spina Bifida. Karibuni, and thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yes. Now, when you talk about it being the Spina Bifida Awareness Month, let's start off by demystifying and understanding what Spina Bifida is all about. We'll start off with you, Madam Mutinda. In layman term, what is it? What condition is this?
Okay, thank you very, very much. Spina Bifida is a condition whereby a child is born with a back that has not fused, and it happens within the first month of pregnancy, that is 26 to 30 days of pregnancy, when a mother even at times does not know whether she is pregnant or not. And what brings about it is that the cause is not known, but it is related to some risk factors. For example, if a mother doesn't have enough folic acid in the body, she's at a high risk of getting a child with Spina Bifida, that is, the back has not fused. The other risk factor that can expose one to getting a child with Spina Bifida is when you have consumed food that has aflatoxin in it, and especially in the Rift Valley, whereby we grow a lot of maize and they are not dried enough. And so when you consume that toxin, it affects the synthesis of the folate in the food that we do eat. The other,
now, Madam Mutinda, let me interject there.
Please.
You said this is a condition where the child is born with a spine that is not fused.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What it means is that along the spine, when the child is being formed, the spine comes and it fuses to become one spine. And what normally happens is that the formation of a spine is like a sheet of paper, and when the child is being born, this sheet of paper comes fusing, closing, and if you don't have enough folic acid, it will not close completely, and that is now where you will develop that Spina Bifida. To add on that, within that bifid, which is a defect, there's nerves that are aligned along the spine. And these nerves serve different purposes in our bodies. They give you the strength to walk. They give you the ability to sense when your bladder is full, when your bowel is full and you want to ease yourself. They also give you the ability, to walk well and to form your feet well so that you can be able to walk. So when they are affected within that mass, it means that all those functions will be disabled.
Now, Esther Hamisi, you're a mother to a child with Spina Bifida. At what point did you actually know that? Did you know you were at risk, given what we have been given here in terms of, exposure to aflatoxin foods, maybe lack of folic acid, and what has been said over the years in regard to this particular condition?
Okay, kwanza nashukuru. Mimi niliza mtoto wangu akiwa tayari yuko na Spina Bifida na hydrocephalus, so nilifanya operation, lakini nilikuwa kunataka kujua ni sababu ya nini imesababisha mtoto akuwe na kichwa kikubwa, ama ni nini kwa lugha kama vile wamesema lugha ya kikawaida. Ni nini hiyo kwa mgongo kuna kidonda na madhara yake ni nini? Lakini nakumbuka wakati huo nilipokuwa nikiuliza, of course namuuliza daktari. Daktari ananiambia hata nikikuelezea hautaelewa. Pia ikavunja zaidi moyo kwamba hata mtoto mwenyewe hawezi kusurvive. So ikawa inazidi kuniletea kunifanya mambo kwa magumu. Lakini nashukuru kupitia kwa wakati huo mtoto wangu ni mzaa 2002, kupitia Potriz EPDK tukaenda Kijabe. So tukazidi kupata moyo na kufundishwa na kujua ni nini imesababisha, ni kwa sababu ya chakula. Ni kweli wakati huo mimi nakumbuka hata kasava. Kwa nini nilikasava? pengine najiuliza, ni kitu ambacho hakiko kwa mdomo kila masaa naweza nikala kama vile chakula cha kawaida. Pengine kama hizo mambo ya soya beans, pengine vitu vya folic mara nyingi kuko sishughuliki. So naweza nikasema pengine na nikijangalia kuko niko kibonge. So sio ni kama naweza nikawa mimi nimekosa vitu kama hivyo, ama sikujua kama naweza nikawa na sababu yoyote ya kuzaa mtoto kama huyo kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa folic ndani ya mwili wangu.
Now let's bring it back to you, Madam Jane Mutinda. Now that is her experience from a mother point of view. She did not know that, you know, she was missing X, Y, Z, and this brings forth to the need to have awareness, especially, you know, for women who are planning to either conceive, you know, or in that way and where they need to attend clinic, because I understand from as a mother, folic acid is part of what you're given when you're going for clinic. But then, is there a way a mom, you know, a pregnant woman can find out if their baby is okay? At what earliest? At what point? And can something be done about it?
For one to be diagnosed to have a child with spina bifida, it is diagnosed at around 18 to 20 weeks. And by that time that it is being diagnosed, it has already happened, because we said it is within the first 1 month of pregnancy. The other ways of diagnosing it is that there is a serum that is drawn from the blood of the mother to test a certain protein that is called AFP. The third way of diagnosing is just by drawing some amniotic fluid, the fluid that surrounds the fetus in your uterus, and then it is tested for that protein. But then you see, when these tests are being done, already the spina bifida has already formed. So it will be too late, but it is good because the mother can now be counseled on what you're carrying in your body, and the counseling starts, and that is where now acceptance will come in, and you also get awareness of what you're carrying. Yeah.
Now, when you talk about pregnancies, especially for first-time mothers, you rarely have planned about it. It's actually an oops pregnancy. So we are looking at the formation between the first month of pregnancy, of which that's when you're actually learning you are pregnant. So now, being that this is, you know, the awareness month, then what can be done from your recommendations from where you sit to actually increase more awareness that if you are indeed pregnant, immediately you know you're pregnant, you need to do X, Y, Z? Because I've heard you mention issue of folic acid and such consumption.
Yeah, in fact, as we have said, that before you realize that you're pregnant and you go to your antenatal visits, the spine has already formed. And so in this awareness, what we would say is that it is good to know what causes spina bifida. And apart from what I had mentioned, folic acid and aflatoxins, there are other risk factors like mothers who have diabetes. We also have obesity, mothers who are obese, and we have other mothers who are using some drugs like epileptic drug. There is a drug called valproic acid. It affects the synthesis of folic acid in the body. Mothers who are HIV positive and they are using some drugs like the DTG. Those are drugs that can interfere with the synthesis of the folic acid. And this is where now the caution comes that before you conceive and you're aware that anyone can get such a condition, it is good to be aware what to do. And what we tell our mothers is that our girls from who are within the age bearing stage, we tell them that is from around age 13 onwards. We tell them it is good, you know yourself, you know that you need to have folic acid which is enough in your body. You also know whether you fall under the categories of the things that I have mentioned, and we give them folic acid tablets, which we advise them to take them 3 months before conception. or before pregnancy. I know it is hard, especially for our school girls who get pregnant without even planning of it, but it is good they be aware when they are engaged in sexual activity to know that such a thing can happen to them. And those folic acid are very cheap, even at the counter. You can buy them from the counter. We also have those food that are rich in folic acid. Things like green leafy vegetables, all the grains that we do take. We have the sweet potatoes, we have broccoli. But then the problem is these foods may have destroyed the folic acid that is innate by the fact that our soils nowadays is spoiled by the fertilizers that we do use. So that soil may not be good for the folic acid in the plants that we do grow. The other thing is that the way we cook our food, you may find somebody cooking the green leafy vegetables until they overcook them to be like soup.
They lose the vitamins.
You know, they lose the vitamins that are innate. So there are many factors that can affect the foods that we eat, and that is why we advocate for folic acid supplementation to be very sure that you have folic acid in your body.
Okay.
We know the government have done something by fortifying the food, but at times you see like the fortification they have done, we really give thumbs up to the government. But who would take ugali Monday to Monday? It's very, very rare.
Indeed it is.
And
now, what impact does, Spina bifida have to a person, and does it affect their life expectancy? From a nurse point of view, then we can also listen to her view as a mom.
Yes, spina bifida has many effects on the child or on the client. Number one, because of the nerves that we mentioned, if a given area has an innervation of those vessels, those are nerves, like the bladder. The nerves along the spine controls the bladder, and so it means that if that bifid, that defect, there were some nerves that supplies the bladder and they are affected, it means that that child will not have control over the bladder, and so they will be leaking their urine throughout, and it has a social impact on them. Socializing with other people is not easy, and again they develop some other secondary conditions like hydronephrosis, whereby the kidneys are damaged, because the kidneys are the ones that filters our blood, and if you see about the urine formation. Again, if the nerves that supplies the bowel are affected, this child will not be able to feel when they have the urge to defecate, and so they live a life of constipation throughout, and hard stools, and growing is very hard when your digestion is not well because of those nerves that are not there. The other thing they give is disability of the lower extremities. You find, depending on the type of spina bifida, the level that has been affected, some of the children will have to use some devices like the wheelchairs, some will use the crutches and all that.
Now let's have your experience, Hamisi. You said this happened to you in 2014. 2002. Yes. Tell us about your experience as a mother and seeking medical assistance. Looking at our local health services, are we equipped to deal with this condition from your experience?
Okay. Wakati nilipozaa mtoto wangu, hospitali ambayo ilikuwa nzuri wakati huo ilikuwa kwenye Kijabe, kama nilivyosema badala wakati ule, lakini kwa sahii naweza nikasema kwamba hata wale wazazi kwa tukawapeleka Kijabe, wengi wanafanywa Coast General kwa sahii, lakini kuna madhara mengi ambayo sisi kama wazazi ambao tunapata watoto kama wale ambao tunayapitia. Kwanza, kitu cha kwanza ni kwamba japo mtoto wangu 2014 Mungu alimchukua, lakini unakuta kwamba kama ni nyumba haziko sawa kwa sababu ya ule mtoto, kwa sababu mara nyingi unasikia kwamba bwana anasema, mume anasema pengine huyu mtoto si wangu, ama anasema kwamba kwetu katika familia hakuna kitu kama hiki, ama unakuta pengine mtu anafikiria kwamba hii ni uchawi ama ni mambo na shiriki. So inaumiza sisi wazazi kwanza, kabla hata kwenda hospitali tayari inaumiza. Kwanza ninapozaa ule mtoto wangu, mimi ndio nimebeba mimba, ni yangu, lakini once nikizaa ule mtoto, kila mtu anataka kujua ni mtoto msichana, ni mtoto mvulana, ni mtoto gani. So community ama wale ambao wako wanani surround wanataka kujua ni mtoto gani. So once wakisikia kwamba ni mtoto ana kichwa kikubwa ama ana shida ya fulani, so wote wanataka kujua. So kwanza hapo ndo tunaanza. Kwanza kitu ya kwanza natakana kwamba ninapozaa mtoto kama ule, nashukuru mimi upande wangu kwamba family ilinisaidia, ilinishikilia mkono. Once mimi kupitia yale ambayo nimepitia, nikimpenda mtoto wangu mimi na kila mtu atampenda. Sasa lakini kama pengine nitapata changamoto kutokana na familia na community, ama pengine nijikatae, ule mtoto pia anakatalika katika community. So inakuwa ni kama ni changamoto. Lakini kama chairperson wa Shark Coast, tunajaribu kwamba kuweka wale wazazi kwa pamoja. Once nikijua kwamba mimi nimezaa mtoto wa hydro na Spina Bifida nikiwa niko peke yangu, so ninaanza kufikiria nifanye nini, niende wapi, kutakuwa vipi. Lakini tukiwa tuko kama support group kwa pamoja, inakuwa ni rahisi. Ama nisitaona kama mzigo ni mkubwa, hata kama pengine nitakuwa nimekataliwa na mzee ama nitakataliwa na family, lakini nikijua kwamba wewe uko na mtoto kama huyo na Jenny uko na mtoto kama huyo, nitajisikia kwamba siko peke yangu, tuko wengi, then tuna move forward.
Moving together. Actually, that's a clarion call as we bring this conversation to a close. I will give Jane a second or so. Since this is the Spina Bifida Awareness Month, from a practitioner point of view, what can we do better? As you've heard her tale, support is key for these children and the parents, as well as the community to accept that they're within us. As we close.
As we close, I would say that Spina Bifida is real. And anyone can get a child with Spina Bifida regardless of your level of education or whoever you are. And so it is good to be aware that there is a solution. That is, you need your folic acid supplementation. The other thing is that there is something that can be done to these children. Do not hide these children in the houses. Do not do abortion when you hear that you have a child with Spina Bifida. There is something that can be done. And Bethany Kids is there to start with you. We have a very good program that do surgeries. And after surgeries, we do make sure that we follow up these children. We have many sites within Kenya, around 18, whereby we have a mobile clinic that visits all those sites at least 5 to 6 times in a year.
So it is corrected, can be corrected.
It can be corrected, and they can even live a normal life. We have children who have gone even to having families, and they are still in the program. They were born with Spina Bifida, and they have their own families. So it is not it is not really a death sentence for that child.
Indeed. So one word as we close, Madam
Okay, mimi ningependa pia kushukuru Coast General Hospital. Tuko na neurosurgeon ambaye ni mzuri sana, anaitwa Dr. Okanga. Anafanya operation watoto wakiwa ni wengi, mpaka sisi wazazi ama tukiwa kama viongozi tunasikia kwamba tumeridhika. Pia tuko na center ya wazazi iko Likoni. Inatufanya kwamba tunakaa pamoja, tunafanya trainings kama kina Jane, mara nyingi wakiwa wanakuja na outreaches zao, wanakuja kwa center yetu. Sisi wazazi wenyewe tunapeana parent counseling. So ningelipenda kualika kwanza Spina Bifida Day. Shark Coast tunaifanya Likoni, tuna walk, tunatembea kwa pamoja, kutoka ferry mpaka Shelly Beach kwa center. Yote ni kuhamasisha watu wajue Spina Bifida ni nini, na madhara yake ni nini, na je, nitakapoona mtoto ambaye anatembea ama ana Spina Bifida ama amejikojolea, je, niweze kumuelewa yule mtoto. So tunataka kuhamasisha community waweze kufahamu na waweze kujua, na kama kuna mtoto amefichwa pia aweze kutolewa kwa nyumba, na watu waanze kutoa ile kasumba kwamba mtoto wangu amerogwa ama amefanywa kitu na fulani, so waweze kutolewa na waweze kuishi na maisha mazuri, wasaidike. Na zaidi tunataka kuwaona, kuna
this is a conversation, Madam Hamisi, hatutaweza kumaliza kwa sasa, but thank you very much for the invite. We will be looking forward to be there. We have an office in Mombasa, and I'm sure they're going to be doing that coverage. Well, if you have been keeping us company, this is a Spina Bifida Awareness Month, being October, and everyone, actually every woman of childbearing age can actually bear a child with Spina Bifida. So kindly visit your medical center, and above all, ensure that you're taking food rich in folic. I'm Regina Manyara. My guests have been Jane Mutinda and Madam Hamisi there. See you next time. Have a pleasant evening ahead.